from Twitter. And my sister Imani Nazira Star, whose birthday is tonight. My niece, long-legged, beautiful, and bony, dumped her feet into a pair of my newest high heels and said, "Look, Auntie Queen, I'm calling you. I can see above your head." "You can't." "Yes, I can," she said. "Well, if you can't, what does it say up there?" She paused for a second, puzzled, and then with the stack of an instant supermodel, leaned in, looked at my hair real close and said, "I'm pretty sure it says hot mess." And she cracked up, gave herself a high five, and walked away. That day I got dissed by an 11-year-old. And I laughed so hard you would think the joke was not about me. The very next day, while I was on my way to get my hair done, I remember thinking, those are the moments that I live for. There is something deep, real deep about the way a small child swims so peacefully in a big person's wardrobe. The way their boat bubbles up to the surface of our baggy jeans, their feet rushing to the edges of our open-toed shoes like waves crashing into the shore. The way that they are so sure that we can fit, but they can't yet fit because we must be sure that we can. Surely their faith is what they float. The way they look up at us even when we are down. The way they want to grow up so fast just to match our height. The way they must investigate what's above our heads just so they can gauge what is above their own. On September 21st, 2011, as the waters of us threatened to rise above our heads, yet again I watched as a little nephew dunked his feet into his uncle's final pair of shoes as if that last time were his first time. And then, with an ocean welling in his eyes, I watched him part his woes like the wind, walk biblically upon his tears, catch the waves of his sorrow, and surf upon them, rising higher with each tide. His uncle's shoes fit him like silk. And with the stature of an instant supermodel, he leaned in real close, as if he could see above all of our heads. And with an insight sharper than the needles being hammered into his uncle's veins, he resurrected his froggy little voice and declared, "I am Troy Davis." His uncle's war poured peacefully from his eyes, dripped down his face, and flooded the ground. There is something deep about the way a small child swims so peacefully in a big person's wardrobe. The way their hope bubbles up to the surface of our baggy jeans, their tiny feet rushing to the edges of our open-toed shoes like waves crashing into the shore. The way that they are so sure that we can fit, but they can't yet fit because we must be sure that we can. Surely their faith is why they float. I too am sure that this special something in the very blood of babes that boosts their buoyancy while they play in the ocean of our dry cleaning is the only reason we do not drown. Dear nieces and nephews, I honor you for learning what it means to be Troy. while the rest of us are busy teaching you what it means to betray. Amen. When I was 14 years old, I knew that I wanted to exercise my power as a lyricist, to take phrases and rearrange old ideas, to take strange words and put them together like I was a matchmaker and make those words love each other. I knew that I wanted to be in charge of the power of what came out of my mouth and challenge those who are so busy trying to figure out what to put in it to shut me up. For Amber Cole.
Oh my God.
Please stand.
Please stand.
Who took that piece?
There's a video on YouTube out over the internet that you were sucking a man.
I'm asking you to stand because I think that we have a powerful moment here to uplift our young people. We put so much energy to putting them down than picking them up. Because sometimes the truth is we just too weak to hold them. This is for Amber Cole. We love you. That's to help. We love you. That's to help. Damn little rapper girl. Damn little rapper girl. You are a compilation of sound sung without the permission of your own tongue. A mixtape. You are a mixtape. Confused and sticky stuff. Been playing so hard the ribbons have popped. But I like you set to a CD. You caught a pick like dishes. Only there ain't nothing left to dig. You dig. We used to groove to the ways that you grow. Now your brain is a rut over which we structured breathe. You refugee. You rat. You misdemeanor. You MIA. You runaways on runways for Roma. You get dogs. We get catwalks. You get catcalls. We wear the dogs upon your more. We evoke and go like ooh, pop, 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 pop is what you are. Like pop is what you are. Pop like crack, like bust, like blow, like breaking, like lolly, like pop, like lolly, pop, like a sister, like it's hard, sugar. It sucks that life is hard, sugar, but you got a B-pop because you ain't never had one, or his confection, correction, you are R&B. R&B like rhythm and the blues. R&B like you don't exist anymore, and we no longer can hear you well enough to identify your body of work. You're played out. Outsourced. You ain't hip-hop, little rapper girl. You don't make hits, you test them. You don't make hits, you test them. You don't make hits, you test them. And the only reason you hop is because your hip is broken, like busted, like out of order, like junk. Like the reason they call your hips junk is because to them you are like liquor, literally. And no one seems to know there's anything above your waist. There ain't no place to dump a dump, especially not one so full of plastic. So perhaps you shall remain the same until your casket because your bio is too degradable for anyone to want to recycle it. Remix tape. Remix tape. A remix tape. Yes, you are a remix tape. You are dying and making a killing. Wow. You are a wounded, wound up over nothing worth getting winded for. A chokehold ain't breath control. A link ain't swagger. A lean ain't gangster. A shiner ain't radiant. You are hurt. And all the fellas are saying, oh, and don't realize the ladies are saying, ow. You are hurt. You have lost your lexicon. And you can't even walk straight or hold your head up high enough to keep these dictionaries from committing suicide from your lips. Instead, you got the wrong dicks and the wrong lips, and your mouth is full of spilled milk. Your soul is made of milk, silk, and you are tearing. 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 Only you can't afford to cry because you don't make enough sense to hold yourself together. You are a ripoff. You steal songs, you pilfer poems, bootleg the work of Walkman. You could have walked, girl. You bootleg the work of Walkman. You could have walked, girl, through womanhood and see if you're good enough to be a woman. Listen, you're too fast, you ain't fast enough. Listen, you're too fast, you ain't fast enough. You're too forward, you ain't forward enough. You're too fly, you ain't fly enough. Find your wind again. Rewind the wind again. Find the wind again. Rewind the wind again. Find the wind again. Bring it back. Rewind the wind again. Find the wind again. Bring it back. Adjust your headphones. Call your brain. Inspect your tape that's fine. Your played instead of working so hard at being played. You pray that your mixtape will be just the right adhesive you need. You pray that your mixtape will be just the right adhesive you need, like masking, like you hide because you country, right? Like infringement, like breach, like break, like dance, like break dance, like pop, like pop, like pop, pop, like you like pop a lot so you are no longer safe. Here? You dance so hard to someone else's movement. 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 When you were someone else's moves that meant for it to be too hard for you to dance. Remember, there are boogie monsters in your boom box. There's a boom box in your boogie. There are boogie monsters in your boom box. There's a boom box in your boogie. There are boogie monsters in your boom box. There's a boom box in your boogie. But remember, you are madness, monstrous, epic, like record breaking, like vinyl, like black, like vinyl shit and crap, like black, like dope. Like I hope you sling your slang better than these rocks. You ain't high, girl. You ain't high. You just been stoned to death, like jam, like death jam, like mute, like jam, like death jam, like mute, and you can no longer hear yourself. I just wish for the life of me that you wanted to. Wow. 5, I was born in Brooklyn to a father and mother who painted CDs of my sisters and my brothers. There were 4. I was in the garden, they were growing and sowing, they never stopped, so it's hard to crops, but 3. All the things that tell us was women in reply, a little different nurturing than the elder to a cell, in order not to fail, from apples to kale, sunlight to hell, and water to touch as well. Just 2, next to every group, every castle and roof, every time, every truth, every tooth real strong, because the way I'm from, some gardens are loud, no, and some of they ain't none, that daughters and no son, and some of them no breeze, no praises, they just lead their seeds into the streets, they plan on their concrete, because on real teeth, come open like they ain't cheesy. 1, trees are the lungs of the earth. 2, from the first breath of our birth. 2, when we go back to the dirt. To 3, we become part of the tree. 4, from the depths of the roots to the leaves. C, we are the air that we breathe. 5, thank you for keeping us alive. Why? For every tree that lives, we don't die. 6, if a lungs doesn't work, we must fix it. The way that we plant our kids is the way people grow oxygen. 7, back to the garden again. And this is where all that begins. 8, if Eden is where we are from, then the apples will fall from the lungs. 9, if life is the fruit of divine, the future intertwined with the seeds of our minds, and offspring survive the fall of mankind. That is the way that we breathe and rewind. 10, to the women and the children and the men, waiting to exhale so that life can begin. 10, to the women and the children and the men, who put them in the trees that the earth can't breathe. 10, to the women and the children and the men, hung from the lungs of these iron that leaves pop, pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop, I will fix till we inhale with ease. Let me resurrect from the autumn of dreams. It's a new season, whether or not you believe. You can sugarcoat the truth, but lies still freeze. Please, we are the air that we breathe. Please, we are the air that we need. Please, we are the air that we breathe. Please, we are the air that we Call Queen quick cause she litty. Call Queen quick cause she pretty. And she from the city. Call Brooklyn, not Queens. Cause Queen, been born in the county of the kings. Call Queen King cause she ruler. Straight edge cause Queen's head make his crown look cooler. Call Queen Pike cause she calm like a storm. Call her camera cause she cannon like the bomb. Call her Hiroshima like Japan. Call her Queen cause she a hero Hiroshima like your mom. QueenGodIs.com. She a worldwide woman, go ahead and log on. Call Godzilla Queen come. Only God is gonna never save a monster from a man. And say God is there again. Then again. So say go planet of the AET from Queen like curfew. What's up, Scotty? Set up the beam, she's the cream of the crop circle. Call Queen Steve like Urkel. She's nerd. Other words, just the bird might hurt you. Call the hospital just in case they say your lungs. So on your face, Queen God is breathtaking. Beyonce.